Tonight, the major shakeup for the Supreme Court. NBC News, the first to report liberal Justice Stephen Breyer, the court's oldest member, is stepping down, giving President Biden his first nomination to the bench. Who is on his short list? And will he keep a campaign promise to nominate the first black woman to the court? The confirmation battle ahead. Also tonight, the U.S. formally rejecting Russia's top security demands amid fears of an invasion in Ukraine. Russia threatening retaliation as it steps up its war games. Richard Engel inside Ukraine. The new subvariant of Omicron to watch in the U.S., why they're calling it a stealth Omicron. It comes as cases and hospitalizations fall, but deaths rise to the highest level in nearly a year. And the new study, up to 2 in 3 cases may now be reinfections. What you need to know. The deep freeze in the Midwest as a powerful nor'easter takes aim at parts of the east. Al Roker tracking it all. The Federal Reserve signaling an interest rate hike is coming soon to tame inflation. The moves to make with your money now. Music legend Neil Young versus Spotify, why the popular streamer is removing his music. And more than 80 years after Pearl Harbor, the fallen U.S. serviceman finally laid to rest.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. Let's begin with the fallout and a look ahead at the political battle to come following word today of Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer's planned retirement from the court. A formal announcement from the 83-year-old Clinton-appointed justice expected as soon as tomorrow. President Biden tonight positioned to make his first Supreme Court pick, an opportunity to fulfill a campaign pledge to nominate a black woman. Democrats preparing to move quickly to capitalize on their razor-thin Senate majority and confirm a nominee before the fall midterm elections, though even a left-leaning pick will not alter the court's ideological balance. A lot of moving parts here, and our team ready to break it all down, starting with Justice correspondent Pete Williams.
People close to Justice Breyer say he made the decision to step down within the past several weeks and prepared to formally notify the White House this week. At age 83, he's the court's oldest justice and appears to be in good health. He remains highly productive, writing some of last term's headline decisions. But he's also a political realist, a former staffer on the Senate Judiciary Committee who knows how Washington works. He was well aware that some progressives said Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg stayed on the court too long despite battles with cancer. Her death allowed President Trump to appoint Amy Coney Barrett, giving the court a super solid 6-3 conservative majority. Breyer said last fall that he knew of the pressure for him to step down while Democrats control the White House and the Senate, which would vote on confirming his successor.
I have most of the considerations in mind, and I simply have to weigh them and think about them and decide when the proper time is. I've also said that I hope I don't die on the Supreme Court.
Any nominee of President Biden's to succeed Justice Breyer, if confirmed, would maintain that current 6-3 ideological split.
I, Stephen Breyer, do solemnly swear.
Bill Clinton nominated Breyer, then a federal judge in Boston, to the Supreme Court in 1994. He was confirmed 87-9. Breyer quickly established himself as one of the Supreme Court's moderate liberals who believe that interpreting the Constitution must be practical, changing with the times.
The reason that I do that is because law, in general, I think, grows out of communities of people who have some problems they want to solve.
He wrote the court's opinion striking down a state law that banned some late-term abortions. He supported affirmative action and other civil rights measures. And in a widely noted dissent in 2015, he said the death penalty in America had become so arbitrary that it was probably unconstitutional.
His real legacy probably is trying to take the law in a pragmatic direction. He wanted the law to work. He didn't want just abstract legal rules that made no sense in the real world.
Justice Breyer will be around at least until late June when the term ends, voting on the challenge to abortion rights and Roe v. Wade, as well as cases on gun rights and religious freedom, one of the most important terms in years.
Pete, you broke this story. What do we know about the timing of his step down?
Well, you haven't seen his formal letter, so we don't know whether he intends to leave in late June or early July once all the big decisions are handed down, or whether he'll wait until his successor is nominated and confirmed by the Senate. But either way, we're told he intends this to be his last year on the Supreme Court. Lester.
Pete Williams, thank you. So now all eyes turn to the White House. President Biden gets his first chance to shape the court after saying during the campaign that he would nominate a black woman. Peter Alexander is at the White House with the names already emerging.
Some real results.
Tonight, President Biden preparing to wield one of the presidency's most consequential powers, picking a Supreme Court nominee, though saying little about it today.
There has been no announcement from Justice Breyer. Let him make whatever statement he's going to make, and I'll be happy to talk about it later.
Now the focus turns to the president's short list, with the White House today saying President Biden will stick to this campaign promise.
I'm looking forward to making sure there's a black woman on the Supreme Court to make sure we, in fact, get every representation.
President Biden has nominated 8 black women to federal appellate courts so far, and one of the top contenders for the Supreme Court opening comes from that list. 51-year-old Ketanji Brown Jackson, a Harvard Law graduate who formerly clerked for Justice Breyer, nominated just last year by President Biden for the influential U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit.
I'm even-handedly applying the law in every case.
Jackson won confirmation in the Democratic-controlled Senate with support from all 50 Democrats and 3 Republicans. Another likely frontrunner, 45-year-old Leandra Kruger, a justice on California's Supreme Court. Kruger, a former Justice Department lawyer, has argued several cases before the U.S. Supreme Court. The White House tonight brushing off speculation that President Biden might nominate Vice President Harris.
The president has every intention, as he said before, of running for re-election and for running for re-election with Vice President Harris on the ticket as his partner.
The pick will not change the balance of the conservative court, but for President Biden, with inflation soaring, his agenda stalled, and poll numbers sinking, it's a chance for a much-needed political win.
Peter, is the White House giving any indication about how quickly the president will move on a decision?
Yeah, Lester, people familiar with the process tell NBC News that President Biden will try to put forward a nominee quickly. It is something the president has thought about since before taking office. Even during the transition, top advisors gave him a formal presentation about the best potential candidates. Lester?
Peter Alexander at the White House, thanks.